Our mind, our human mind, has a lot of trouble assimilating source consciousness because we hold ourselves in constant judgment. When something happens, our mind is going to judge it as a cause of something, right? There has to always be a cause for the mind, a reason. And I was just thinking, I have such a transcendent grasp on being source, being God. And you will hear me say in my videos that I am the absolute source. I'm Almighty God. It sounds preposterous out of human lips. But I'm not just a human. You are not just a human. You're just wearing this human suit. If you can tap into the consciousness outside of your human mind, into the almighty ether, perhaps then it makes more sense. But I was thinking, with this claim, when we're human and we claim, and often we have to say it many times to convince our own mind of this reality, that I am God, that you are God. Our mind has this programming of the finite human. And let's say something adverse happens to me. Let's say, for instance, I get sick and get cancer all of a sudden, and my human avatar withers away. What does our mind, what's the first thing our mind will do? It'll say, see, I knew you weren't God. If you were God, you wouldn't be dying of cancer. See, our mind is that tree of knowledge and good and evil, because it always has to find a reason and a justification. And it will come up with the accusation, I knew that you weren't God, because here you are dying. Actually, Jesus faced exactly the same thing. He proclaimed himself to be God, in that he said, I and the Father are one, and if you have seen me, you have seen the Father. He did that throughout his entire lifetime. But then what happened? He ended up being judged and condemned to death on the cross. And what did people say? If you are the Son of God, or if you are God, what are you doing on that cross? Come down and save yourself. Show us that you are God. See, it's no different than God experiencing through the human avatar the experience of dying from cancer. That doesn't make me that does not make me any less God. It is just an experience in matter. I thought I needed to mention this because I know this is in the subconscious minds of many people that cannot grasp and grapple with this idea that somehow this human form could be Almighty God. You see it demonstrated in the story about Jesus. So if something adverse were to happen to me one day and I depart from this life, do not say, Renee was wrong. She was self-deluding herself. Because when I am out of my body, I am fully back to being Almighty Source God. I hope that makes sense and clarifies a few confusing things.